Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Avadon. We're finally done with all the other random stuff that we were running around taking care of and doing, and we're just about ready to continue on with our main mission, dealing with some issues with the Peraza Woods between Holklandia and Kellemderiel, I believe. Just one quick thing to do before we start, and that's level up Janelle, because she is apparently able to be leveled up now. What are we going to improve for her? You know what, summon pets appearing with War Chant would actually be pretty nice, especially since she has become... Yeah, she has effectively become a summoner. That's where I'm focusing her on. I mean, these other skills are useful. Some of them, anyway. I mean, Call of the Wind isn't that great until we get Call of the Storm, but even then that's knocking him back. I don't really like that. I mean, Earthquake is a lot better, but that needs to improve everything else around here. Oh yeah, Earthquake is something I like, but these other spells... Yeah, I gotta work on getting the Salamander improved a bit, so I'm gonna work on building up this region. I'll probably get Nature Mastery next, then Blessing of Thorns, then Call Salamander. But that's neither here nor there. Now, it's finally time to move on. And, since it's Kellemderiel and Holklandia, we're taking our Kellemderian and our Holklandian. Let's go. Okay, here we are. Right in the middle of somewhere. Well, we can't go west. I have no idea what's through there, so let's go east. You step out of the Pylon Grotto and into the Grand Garden of Castle Vebeaux. Since this is a major fortress of the Pact, its portal to Avadon has a prominent placement in a particularly lovely area of the fortress. The castle itself is many centuries old, placed atop a tall, natural spire of rock. It has seen many battles, especially during the Black Age, but it has never been taken by a foe. And yet it is all the elegance prized by the Kellem. This garden, placed where it can catch as much sunlight as possible, is a lovely place to walk, get fresh air, and plot and scheme ways to meet Duke Griffin and gain political advantage. Alright, let me just take a quick review. For decades, the lands of Holklandia and Kellemderiel have been on the brink of war. There's a rare chance to bring peace between the two, and Redbeard is sending you there to help. Use the e-portal to travel to Castle Vebeaux and Kellemderiel and meet with Duke Griffin there. Observe and do whatever you can to aid in the negotiations. Simple enough. You try to speak to these courtiers. When you get close, however, they immediately find that they need to be somewhere else. You fail to engage any of them in conversation. Only the most disciplined of Kellemderiel's soldiers are recruited to defend Castle Vebeaux. Disciplined and quiet. Though they will exchange pleasantries and give directions, you are unable to draw any of them into deeper conversation. Chambers of the Duke. Okay, makes sense that we wouldn't be seeing that. This is stairways down, leading to the Undercroft. Okay, we won't be exploring there. Well, let's take a look around here a bit more. I feel like we must be in... Oh! Here's someone with a name. There's a man in glorious and ornate plate armor wandering this garden. Everything about him communicates great wealth and influence. The broadsword hanging from his belt also lets you know that he would be dangerous in a duel. He looks at you with distaste.
And what does Avadon wish of Viscount Vebeaux?
I would like to speak with you.
But I have nothing to say to you. If you have a problem with this, complain of me to Redbeard. I will stay with my private thoughts.
He turns and walks away. Are you one of Duke Griffin's men?
I do, in fact, answer to the Duke, whatever path he chooses, wise or unwise. This is the business of the Kellem, not Avadon. I will now take my leave.
He turns and walks off. Okay then. That's how you want to play. Looks like this is a wall around the fortress, around the castle itself. Quite a bit of a wall. Quite a bit of a wall. I feel like we shouldn't have gone in here quite yet, but okay. Ah. Here's the other side. Commander Percival. Nathalie is practically skipping as she moves down the hall. Look at all of this! What beauty! What glory! When I'm in Avadon, this is what I miss most of all. Actual beauty!
And I'm here! I'm actually here! She looks around at all the art and finery, barely able to restrain herself. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna look around a bit. I mean, I shouldn't have come in here quite yet. Okay. So that's basically the end of it. Where does this go? The Vebeaux Gardens. It's probably this place here. Okay. So... Tailor's shop, Avadon office. Ah. Alright, let's start here. Oh, open arms within. It's already in our codex, is it? Yeah, I think it is. Okay. Akasha. There's an old woman sitting at this desk. Based on the symbol of her robe and on the wall outside her office, she is here from Avadon. Her office is full of clutter, the debris of many years of service. She stands and briefly shakes your hand.
Jason, yes? Redbeard made sure that I knew you were coming to aid Duke Griffin. I am Akasha. There is little I can do for you, but I did want to give you a kind word before you left.
What is your role here?
I am one of Avadon's watchers. In major castles like this one, Redbeard often places an eye to watch things. This way he does not have to rely entirely on rumors, and if Duke Griffin needs Avadon's opinion on something, he can get it instantly. It is a position of great responsibility. I have duties both inside and outside the castle.
Are you from Kellemderiel?
Of course not. Redbeard would never place a Kellem to watch over Kellemderiel. He wants his watchers to be as neutral as possible. I am a Daramite, though I have not been home in many years.
How long have you been here?
I have been honored to serve here almost 30 years. I have no regrets. It is a long posting and there is much work. However, the food is excellent, and a gate across the hall gives me a discount on the stylish robes she makes.
What are your duties inside the fortress? Inside the castle?
Whenever someone wants to give Avadon information or ask for a boon, they can come to me. Mainly, however, I watch and listen. I am Redbeard's eyes and ears. It is my primary purpose.
What are your duties outside the castle?
Well, I was to occasionally travel to the Peraza Woods. Watch things there too, but then I aged. It's a shame. There are things happening out there we should be attending to, but I lack the resources.
Anything I can help you with?
She smiles. I hope you would ask. The Peraza Woods is sparsely settled, but it attracts those who appreciate the lack of authority. Smugglers, spies, and the like. I have heard patrols discussing a man named Orion. They often see him wandering out there. He claims to be a woodsman. He seems mad. They find him amusing. I find him suspicious. If you see him, follow him around for a bit. I'd like to know if he ever shows signs of not being who he seems.
Where should I look for him?
Along the main east-west road running through the woods. Might take some searching to find him. If you find an abandoned campsite, it might be one of his.
And you think he's a spy?
Probably not. However, my job is to watch the things I feel need watching. He qualifies. If he is innocent, the gaze of Avadon will pass him by.
Akasha sits at her desk and sips from a mug of strong herbal tea.
It is good to be visited by others from Avadon. It's a lonely post. Everyone is always so afraid of us. Sometimes with good reason, I'm afraid.
What do you think of Duke Griffin? She smiles and sips some tea.
I wish the Pact had many more like him. He was born to wealth and power, and he is determined to do great things. He wants peace with Hulklandia, a risky path to be sure, but I hope that he succeeds.
Do you think that there is hope of peace between Kellemderiel and Hulklandia?
Yes, but not in my lifetime. Still, if it happens, it will be because of the energy and courage of people like Duke Griffin. Such a peace would be a great thing for Avadon. Assassinating everyone in Kellemderiel and Hulklandia who tries to foment a war over the Peraza Woods takes up a good deal of our time.
Lovely. Anything else I should know about the Duke?
Not at this point. He seems energetic, competent, and sincere.
Avadon has had many problems lately. Her face darkens.
I have heard. I know that there was even combat in the halls of the Black Fortress, yes? Deaths, escaped prisoners. Shadow Tarkus slipped from the cells of the fortress. Many things have gone wrong lately. Suspiciously many things.
Do you know why everything is going wrong?
No, and it is part of my job to say nothing until I am sure of it. Rest assured, every eye is investigating.
Any advice for me?
Only to be prepared and watch your back. It's very dangerous on the roads for a hand these days, especially in a wild place like the Peraza Woods.
Okay then. Thank you very much for your time. We'll see what we can do when we go, if we go, or when we go into the Peraza Woods. Alright, here we have a tailor. Alright, let's speak. The land of Kellemderiel is famed for its love of fine food, fine clothes, and general beauty of their surroundings. Thus it isn't surprising that the one shop allowed in the upper halls of Castle Vebeaux sells clothes. The tailor walks up to you, looks at what you are wearing, and allows herself only a tiny lip curl of distaste. William Gate, tailor of Castle Vebeaux, licensed by dear Griffin himself. It is great fortune that brought you to me. Castle Vebeaux has its own tailor? Of course. We should have more than one. Every noble and courtier who visits these halls must dress in the most fashionable garb. It tends to be necessary to get one's wishes to be taken seriously. Fashion is important here. Oh, extremely so. We are the Kellem, after all. Whatever we do must be done perfectly, not like the sloppy other people of the Pact. I do not wish to be insulting. Are stylish clothes expensive? Oh, of course. If they were cheap, how could they be stylish? The clothes are expensive and styles change constantly. Being able to stay current is how one shows that he or she is a person of means and importance. And what do you think of fashion in Avadon? The dress there is very functional, I'm sure. I'm sure that you can tolerate it, but there is always room for improvement, yes? Sure. Agate the tailor attends to you carefully, discussing fashion and the affairs of the day in a lovely lilting voice. She does a good job in concealing her view that everything you are wearing should just be hauled off and burned. You have a special license to trade here? Oh, of course. Otherwise there is no way that the Duke would allow me a shop in these hallowed halls. How did you receive such a privilege? Pure skill. No bribes were employed. My family has simply made the finest garb for the royal family of Castle Vebeaux for over 100 years. Oh, I'd like to trade with you, I suppose. Oh, that is a great relief. I hope that you find my work to your liking. Some of the clothes are even made from materials that can hold an enchantment. You need not sacrifice protection for fashion. Not in my shop. Well, let's see. What have you got? Fine clothes. Spider silk tunic gives dexterity bonus. Encanter's shoes. That's pretty nice. Bonus to magical damage and healing. That would be pretty good for someone. Archer's gloves, bonus to missile damage, which is not bad at all. And Sage's rod we don't need. Why do you have a Sage's rod? You're a tailor! Can I sell things to you? Her lower lip curls. She looks at what you are wearing. I am very selective about what I sell in my shop. If you wish to sell items, I suggest that you go to the bazaar in the Undercroft. That's all I need. Then I wish you safe travels and the courage to maintain a proper appearance under even the most challenging of circumstances. Indeed. So the Undercroft isn't quite what I thought it was. Okay. As you dodge the hot pans and pots of boiling liquid, you try to engage some of the workers in the kitchen in conversation. They, in turn, threaten you with a dousing of hot grease if you don't get out of their way and let them cook. Believing the sincerity of the threat, you depart. This is the main kitchen of Castle Vebeaux. Meals are prepared here for everyone of import in the fortress, from the Duke on down. Kellemderiel is very proud of its cuisine. Every land in the Pact is able to make good food, but the Kellem have developed a style of cooking of great delicacy and complexity. No other race in Linnaeus takes the finer things so seriously. Okay, that's all kitchen staff, basically. That's just a passage. That's a bunch of courtiers. Oh, there's a book over here. Well, let's take a look. What does this say? This book is about the Titan Peaks. Alright. The Titan Peaks, the Titan Peaks. There it is. Titans are, in many ways, similar to humans, but very stocky, powerfully muscled, and much taller. Some specimens are as much as 12 feet tall. Perhaps Titans are a race of humans who grew much taller and stronger. Or maybe the opposite is true. All that is known is that the Titan Peaks is the last land controlled by these proud, powerful creatures. These mountains are one of the Farlands, a rocky peninsula on the southern coast of Linnaeus. The Titans are penned in there by the Pact. Ending the raids of these powerful warriors was one of the main reasons Kavad joined the Alliance. Titans are very strong and fearsome in battle. They wield war clubs and huge iron swords, and they fling rocks at their foes with deadly speed and accuracy. They're not long-lived creatures. Their bulk weighs them down and wears them out in an early age. And they are not stupid. Some see their tribal lifestyle and fur garments and think that they are simple creatures. A dangerous mistake. The Titans of the Peaks belong to tribes led by elders and shamans. In a way, it is not that different from the Wild Realm. But most Titans are warriors, ever ready to fend off potential assaults by humans greedy for land. The peaks themselves are jagged and painfully difficult terrain for invaders. In a fair fight, one Titan is a match for 10 human warriors. But the Pact is organized, and there are many humans. Thus the Titans stay in their mountains, staring jealously at the fertile plains to the north. And they hope for the day when the Pact will be gone and they can emerge. Lovely. Okay. That heads to the west to I don't know where. And I saw a commander here. The man sitting at this desk wears the insignia of a commander in the Pact Army. This makes him very important, with a huge force under his control. Not surprising, considering the stature of Castle Vebeaux. When you enter, he sets his pen and rises to greet you.
Welcome, Hand of Avadon. I am Commander Percival of Castle Vebeaux. I have been informed that Duke Griffin requested your presence, and I will do all I can to aid you.
I would speak with you.
He checks the papers on his desk. You have not spoken with Duke Griffin yet, have you? I would not speak with you before our leader does. You'll find him in the Great Hall.
He points to the west. Very well, then. We will have to head to the Great Hall, which I believe is right in there. As you approach the Great Hall, Shima is, even by his standards, somber.
This is not a mission I would have chosen. I am an exiled Hulklandian. To be here in a Kellem fortress, to aid a Hulklandian, it is perhaps the worst place I could possibly be.
Why is it dangerous for you to be in this fortress?
Because for all the Pact's talk of cooperation, Kellemderiel and Hulklandia are enemies. This fortress saw much bloodshed during the Black Age. Many of my people died outside its gates. Suffice it to say, I do not intend to go for walks by myself.
You are worried about meeting a Hulklandian?
I am in exile. My family is disgraced. I will count myself lucky if I am not attacked. If I meet a member of the honored Forge clan, my family's destroyers, I'm not sure what I will do.
Don't worry. I'm at your side.
Thank you, Jason. That is comfort.
Don't worry. Let me just take a look through here first. Probably not much to see. Yeah, it does go all the way around here, it looks like. Right around here. There's a second beautiful garden to the west of the Great Hall. The pathway is lined with lovely fountains, and the grass is tended to with great attentiveness. At the west end of the path is a vantage point where visitors can look out over the vast Peraza Woods to the west. It is a dark, thick forest nearly untouched by human settlement. Neither Hulklandia nor Kellemderiel will allow foreign settlers into the woods they consider to be theirs. There's a warrior in Hulklandian garb standing there and staring out at the woods. He's the only Hulklandian you have seen in the fortress. He may be the warrior you were sent here to help. Before we speak with him, let us go into the main hall. It appears to be there. We can't go any further north, so it looks like we don't have much choice. Alright then, into the main hall we shall go. I mean, we could look over there, but let's go into the main hall. You enter the famed Grand Hall of Castle Vebeaux. For almost 1,000 years, most of the great decrees and negotiations of Western Kellemderiel took place in this chamber, though the tile work wasn't always quite so nice. To the north, sitting on his throne, you see what could only be Duke Griffin. He is a young man, stylishly dressed and extremely handsome. His assistant stands next to him, consulting with him and shouting out the next courtier or envoy who will receive a precious minute of his time. The rest of the hall is full of said courtiers and envoys, orbiting around Griffin like planets around the sun, muttering witty asides to each other and looking for any chance to get a valuable bit of information or scrap of political advantage. It doesn't take long for you to make you wish you were back in a nice mine somewhere, hacking at wretches. Well, what's done has to be done. Besides, I'm always a fan of diplomacy. Maybe not politics, but diplomacy. There's a scribe standing at Duke Griffin's side. She bears a heavy armload of scrolls, requests for aid, and other business the Duke needs to attend to. She is the one who determines how every minute of his time is spent, so, of course, she sees you as a natural enemy.
Greetings,
She says with a shallow curtsy.
I am Scribe Janaya, the Duke's assistant. I thank you for coming, and I hope that you will not take too much of his time.
What is your job here?
I am the gateway to Duke Griffin's time. I arrange meetings for him, parcel out his time into increments, minute by minute. Make sure he sees who he needs to see when he needs to.
Is the Duke's schedule busy?
Busy? He is one of the 4 Dukes of Kellemderiel. His power and responsibilities are truly great. Once the Duke would even meet envoys while dressing and bathing in the morning, and sign decrees as his head struck the pillow at night. Duke Griffin ended those practices. I still mourn the governing time it costs him.
I can't take his time.
You are a hand of Avadon. You can gobble up as much of it as you want. I only ask that you don't. There is much rulership that needs to take place.
That is all I need.
Then good day to you. I must... Oh, it never ends.
She looks down at the scrolls, lets out an exasperated sigh, and walks away. Then let us speak to the Duke. Let the courtiers lurk in the corners and wait for their turn with the Duke. You are from Avadon. You will speak to whomever you want to whenever you want to. You ignore their envious gazes as you approach Duke Griffin. As his assistant sighs in irritation and starts to rearrange his schedule with sharp motions of her pen, the Duke of Castle Griffin rises to greet you. He has a blazing smile and youthful enthusiasm, and he seems genuinely happy to see you.
Jason, Hand of Avadon, I am honored to welcome you to Kellemderiel, and I am glad that Redbeard sees the rare opportunity that lies before us. My other business can wait. This is too important.
I have come here from Avadon at Redbeard's command. What do you need of me? Duke Griffin rises from his chair and walks to the south, enabling him to look to the west and see the Peraza Woods spread out below the castle. The courtiers suddenly become very quiet, eager to see what will happen.
I am a young duke, but I...
He is silent for a time, choosing his words very carefully. Soon he steels himself for what he has to say.
I have decided that I will be a great leader of the Kellem. I will do whatever is needed to keep them strong for far into the future. For that reason, this eternal argument with Hochlandia over the Peraza Woods needs to be settled. We cannot continue as we have done with this grudge tormenting both sides.
You want peace with Hochlandia?
Yes, an honorable peace. That is why I have invited an envoy of Hochlandia here. His name is Monitor Shigaz. He is highly esteemed by his people. The Peraza Woods are not patrolled by soldiers from either nation, which has enabled them to become a nest of brigands and other pests. I want to work with the Hochlandians to pacify the region. That is why I need you.
What good will hunting brigands and monsters do?
Understand, the enmity between our two people is over a century old. Peace will be difficult to obtain. The first step is to start talking again, to work together, to show good faith. It will require years and patience, but I am young.
So what must I do?
Monitor Shigaz waits for you just outside my hall to the west. I ask that you go with him and several Kellem soldiers to a region of the Peraza Woods and pacify it. Speak with Shigaz. Find out what he wishes. Go with him to complete the mission. Report to me when you are successful.
He turns to Shima.
Hochlandian, I am not your enemy. I have made it known that any who trouble you must answer to me directly.
Shima nods, greatly relieved. Why does Avadon need to be involved?
Because Monitor Shigaz insisted on it. He's willing to hear me out, but he is mistrustful of the Kellem. He will only go out with Kellem soldiers if he has Hands of Avadon to keep watch, I suppose.
Is Monitor Shigaz interested in the peace? Duke Griffin lets out a wicked laugh.
Not at all. Not in the least. I invited him here on the pretense of discussing trade issues. He was furious when he learned that I wanted to talk peace. It took many fast words to even get him to consider my ideas. But he is open to the possibility of peace, so the time to act is now.
What threat is in the part of the woods we're going to?
Oh, I'm not sure. Something magical. Not brigands, I think.
odd monsters. I'm sure Shigars will describe them.
It is a noble goal. I will do what I can.
Duke Griffin smiles. It is strangely refreshing to meet someone who doesn't think that I am mad. All I ask is that you help, as Redbeard intended you to. Shigars is waiting for you.
He turns to Nathalie and smiles.
Also, young sorceress of the Kellem, I have heard of you. I am very eager to hear if your skills are as sharp as I have been told.
Nathalie almost swoons.
Griffin's assistant nudges his arm, but he waves her away. Well, I can spare a bit more time if you need any other information. Well, I'd like to discuss my mission. You wish to hear my request again? That is worth my time. I want to make sure that I am very clear. Helps to avoid troublesome misunderstandings. I am a young duke. He speaks with much more confidence than he did the first time he described the mission to you. I've decided that I will be a great leader to the Kellem. I will do whatever is needed to keep them strong for far into the future. For that reason, this eternal argument with Hooklandia over the Peraza Woods needs to be settled.
Tell me more about your castle.
It is one of the oldest, most glorious fortresses in Kellemderiel. Our people have defended themselves on the spire of rock for almost 1,000 years. It has been laid siege to many times, but it has never fallen.
When was it besieged last?
A century ago, in the Black Age, Hooklandian warriors surrounded us for 2 years, but we stood. We have enormous mounds of supplies in the Undercroft. Even in times of peace, we are always ready to defend ourselves.
Has it been attacked many times?
Oh, I am afraid so. For all of our love of the finer things, the lords of Kellemderiel have never been shy about waging war on each other. Of course, Avadon has done much to prevent such strife. They have exercised their power to protect the Kellem from themselves.
How long has your family ruled here?
For about 3 centuries. One of my ancestors survived a particularly spirited spate of assassinations. He and his clan took hold here. From this post, we saw the rise of the Pact in Avadon, with all that has meant for us. They have completely changed the way of the Kellem, but in a beneficial way.
How has Kellemderiel changed?
Once we acted as we wished, sometimes wisely, sometimes not. Now we must answer to Avadon's counsel in all things. And yet we are safer now, so it was a fair trade.
Okay then. Duke Griffin grins at you, eager to speak.
My time is yours, Hand of Avadon. What do you wish to speak of?
His assistant continues to rearrange his schedule, making little annoyed noises as she writes on her scroll. Duke Griffin ignores her with a mischievous smile. I'd like to know more about the Peraza Woods.
It is a forest, only that. No more or less valuable than any other forest in Linnaeus. And yet it is special because both Hookland and Kellemderiel lay claim to it. It is a matter of great pride for both lands, and I think either side would rather go to war than submit. I think that this is madness, and I am not ashamed to say it.
How did this come to be?
In the Black Age, the brutal civil war that tore apart the Pact a century ago. Then Avadon rose and helped to bring peace. Many arguments were settled, but when we had mostly settled our differences, the fate of the Peraza Woods had not been decided. I think they thought that with time, both sides would calm down and find a peaceful solution to the problem. This has not happened.
What can be done with the woods to make both sides happy?
I don't know. Probably nothing, not yet. Perhaps they can be divided, or one side can purchase claim from the other. All I know is that a solution must be found before this simmering dispute turns into violence.
Why doesn't Kellemderiel just give up the Peraza Woods?
Because we are a proud people, and many of us would rather die than simply abandon the claim. Quite literally rather die. Or die fighting.
Very well then. And why are you trying so hard to make peace with Hooklandia?
Duke Griffin looks around at the courtiers and envoys of other dukes of Kellemderiel. They don't seem like they are listening, and yet you are sure they don't miss a single word. I am trying to make peace with nobody. I only wish conversation. A calming, if you will. I don't want to say more at this point.
That is all I need.
Then I bid you good hunting, Jason of Avadon. His scribe leaps forward, ready to move him along to the next item in his schedule. Very well then. We will speak with Shigars in the next episode, because as long as this episode has gone on, I don't want it to end up too ridiculous, if you know what I mean. We still have like half of the fortress to explore, as well as whatever is underground, which includes the Undercroft over here, which probably will have interesting things. So, we will do that in the next episode.
Till then, I am Chester44. That is Jason, Shima, and Nathalie. This has been an Avadon Let's Play, and I shall see you all next time.